Hello, America. Today we are making wooden mallets because I don't have any wooden mallets. It's a good thing to have. If you're using a chisel or any kind of wooden handle tool that you need a little more impact on, you don't want to use metal because you can dent and scratch that surface of that wooden handle. Or for joinery, if you just need to, if you have a wooden leg or something that you're trying to get into place, again, wood on wood, it won't leave as many marks. You can also like wrap something in a towel and a rubber band, but you wouldn't have the chance to make a mallet that looks like Mjolnir. Meow meow. I had some scrap blocks I had saved around for a very long time, probably just for something like this. But I had 3 or 4 of them laying around, so I finally got around to making mallets. These are already this size, so like I said, perfect size scrap. This was treated 4x4s, and then I had some treated, just to keep the theme of consistent wood, I had some treated 2x4s that I ripped in half and then I turned on the lathe to make handles. And then I made a tenon? This might be the right word. Then out in the middle, and then I drilled a hole, cut a slit, and hammered in a little insert and then a little bit of wood glue. So these just dried. I did this yesterday. I haven't had a chance to use them yet, but I'm very excited. And then I have this is what it started off with, some scratch wood. You can kind of see the surface of this is beat up. My mom used this one as scrap wood for something. There's always holes punched in it. But yeah, I ripped this down to a square and then I'll turn it. I had to be trickier with this because this is kind of junkier scrap wood. It has a bunch of knots in it. And I had some massive blowouts when I was working on this one. It was supposed to be this long, but I lost like most of the back end and then a chunk here. I just cut off the ruined end and then I very carefully trimmed this up. That's where I lost a big chunk, but it made it into a little contoured handle, which is perfect for baby Mjolnir. So you definitely want mallets of different sizes and weights for different things at different precisions, different hand sizes. So this was a smaller scrap I had laying around. I'm very excited. You can see here on some of these, because this is just scrap wood, it has some massive knots, some holes into it, and so I just filled those with epoxy and then sanded those down. I mixed in, epoxy and a little bit of black paint, just to add a little bit of flavor and color to it. And as far as these goes, you just take the block and then set your table saw at a 45-degree miter, and then I just kind of pushed it through, just kind of rotating on all the edges. Every one of them had the same height and angle, so it's actually really easy to get those nice Mjolnir angle lines pretty quick. But anyway, this is the worst handle I've made, so this is the one I'm making the video for. You cut a little bandsaw, cut a little slit right in the middle. You can use a handsaw, that's fine. And then drill a hole at the end, and that will hopefully, theoretically, keep it from splitting more, having that hole drilled in. I drilled the hole, then did my bandsaw to meet it this time for some reason, and it's crooked? Whatever. Okay. Like I said, this is not my best one, but whatever. I still have one more after this, so I can always just redo this video with a larger, better Mjolnir. This one I'll just give to a baby. Wood glue, kind of spread it around. You can kind of be pretty liberal with this. Put more at the top. And I'm also going to put it inside this crack here. That way there's something to catch the insert that I hammer in. And hopefully that goes well. So there's a lot. This is soft wood. This is cedar for the handle, and it seems pretty solid. It feels pretty sturdy. We're about to find out. But there's a lot of people that make these in various ways with some very various wood, but they make them out like these fine exotics, and then they're just too nice to use and just too beautiful. And I don't want that, so I just want to use trash wood I have laying around that I don't feel bad, because I definitely intend these to get used. I really have enjoyed making these, so what I might do after this is make a larger, like replica size Mjolnir, because I'll have baby, small, or medium, and then large. And I have some walnut. I think I'm going to have some left over from a different project, which would be really cool because it's planks. So I actually be gluing. This is like a solid chunk, which is what you want. But I could glue multiple planks together, and probably maybe get some patterns. Put in like some scrap maple over there as contrast, light and dark, which might be really sweet. More glue. You can never have too much wood glue. That's what they say. Never enough wood glue, never enough clamps. Okay. But I would use that one too. But walnut is a domestic wood. It's relatively cheap as far as hardwoods go. And it looks beautiful, but it's also very dense. So that one would give you a good weight, and it really wouldn't, it would really take a beating. So. Clean up some of the extra glue. Normally I keep a bowl of water I can like dip the paper towel in and really wet the wood glue. You can clean it up after. It's just a big pain to not do that while you're working on it. Just clean it up as soon as it's fresh. And because this is YouTube, this will be my grossest project. We're just going to add some water. And then clean some of that up. Like I said, when I'm not filming, I don't do that. I just go in the other room and grab some water, but whatever. Okay. Now, the reason I'm making this video in the first place, let's align that pretty. I get to use a hammer to make a hammer. Hammers making hammers, babies making babies. So, this is kind of fat. Urgh. Whatever. Probably should have squared that up. That just broke. Pro tip, square off the end of your insert so you can get a square hit with your hammer. Let's just add in a little bit more wood glue. Never have too much. Let's just line that up again. Let's give that another go around. Nailed it. Fingers. Should use that one. That's a really good one. Hindsight. I'm gonna bevel an angle on this one. So I've already broken the last two. Okay, now I just sent that on the belt sander a little bit to give me a little finer point. Don't hold something that small on the belt sander, pro tip. And there we go. So, as you could see in the video, the glare is insane. I put in an insert, broke it, put another one to hammer that one in, broke it, third time the charm. That one I actually am getting in a pretty good distance. Maybe I should square that off and give some more hits, or I can just keep hitting it at an angle. Let's square it off. Why not? My other two good hammers did go in on the cleanly. I didn't keep breaking them off. I have one insert and all of them. That won't work. I almost didn't make this video or work tonight because I was tired. That's what happens when you work when you're tired. But I took a nap in my chair, so I was like, now I'm good. Nope. Let's try that. Okay, take 5. So that's good. You can actually see I'm warping that insert now, so that's not going to go in any further. But I got it in pretty square. I got enough wood in there. All you're really doing is spreading apart that insert. And you can kind of tell up from the wood glue that's pushed up around the center that that extra wood glue is forced out from the pressure of driving that insert in. So you put in the handle, you get a little bit pushed up, and then when you split it, just the pressure will cause it to come out both sides. So that note means it's working. So let's just clean this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. So there's the insert, maybe. There's the insert and the handle. I let the wood glue dry overnight. The smaller handle is actually a pretty good size for the smaller mallet. And the big boys, not a mark on them. A little bit on this side. That's the side that I hit things on. That makes more sense. Yeah, a little. Really nothing. The reason I like this piece, you can kind of maybe tell. If you see how wide apart those grain lines are, that's kind of how dense your wood is. Maybe. If you look at something like this one, it's a lot smaller together. So I usually try to pick the densest, heaviest wood I can. That will give a little bit more weight, a little bit more strength. Not this; these are from table legs, but just in general. But I actually kind of like that taper on the handle. It gives you a good catch point for your hand. This was just pretty solid and straight. But it had a good weight to it. I was using a different metal mallet for it, but I thought this worked really good. Like I said, it was bending the wood and breaking them, so it was definitely getting impact through. But yeah, I got a good 1/4 inch insert in there, so that'll be solid. And these aren't moving at all as I was swinging them. Okay, so that shouldn't fly off while I'm using it. That felt really solid. So maybe I'll remake this video with the last hammer tomorrow and see how that goes. I can use this tiny little baby insert that should go in real smooth if it doesn't break. These are just scrap wood from another project that was just lying around that I kept them because I knew, oh, these would be perfect inserts because they're a solid hardwood. They're all about 1 inch. Or for like a picture frame slices. I can't think of words today. Splines for spline inserts. So I had a big pile of these and I've been going through them for the hammer. But anyway, get outside, make a Mjolnir, conquer your foes. This only took me like a day or two to make out 4 of them. It was just a like an hour to cut all the angles, sand everything down, and then rip handle lengths. If you do it in batches, once you have everything set up, you can go through it real fast. Turning the handles and then the insert, like you saw, took a whopping 15 minutes of making mistakes and fixing it. So I'll probably sand down that end a little bit because that's where it kept breaking. Okay, thanks for bearing through that one, America.